Hey guys, and welcome to the first episode of the High Life Podcast, featuring your favorite sharks, Bishit
and that tall guy, Caleb.
Discussing how we met and how this friendship came to fruition.
So for today's premiere episode, we thought we would tell the tale of how we met. Thanks to the courtesy of Lauren Mathewson, so shout out to you. We appreciate it. In order to do that, we are at the site of the crime scene. Now, I'm going to take us back to August 2021, right?
Yeah, 2020.
It was the first week of school, junior year. I was at home, bored as hell, I think. I can't really remember, but I was like, you know what? I had something come up for basketball, so I was like, you know what? I'm going to go down to the park, get some work in. So I go down to the park, get my sprints in, get some conditioning.
This guy was just sprinting.
And I was like, you know what? Like, I'm going to end off the night getting some shots up. So I start walking over to the courts. And there was one other person at the park. Just one.
Bricking every shot.
Probably it was at like 6 at night. You know, the sun was starting to set. There was no one at the park but this one kid. And as I'm walking over, I take a glimpse. And I'm like, what the hell am I looking at? This guy I don't know if you had beef with the backboard, but you were chucking that ball like a girl just like broke your heart. Like I was like, what the fuck? So I'm just walking over and I start putting up shots. I'm vibing, you know. It's maybe like 10 minutes in and this kid starts walking over and I'm like, oh no, here we go. So you come over and you're like, hey, do you want a 1v1? And I was like, yeah, sure. But in my head, I was like, let me throw this kid to the curb.
And it didn't happen, okay? He won by like 1 or 2 points.
I'm like, let me throw this kid to the curb and call it a night. So we start playing. Obviously, I won, you know.
By 1 or 2 points. Yeah, but the last game...
No.
Hey, the last game we played, who won? The fourth game, who won? You won?
No. That night when we first met,
no.
We just played one game.
Yeah, no, it was one game.
It was just one game, you know. We start playing. I think we probably exchanged numbers.
Did we the first? No, wait, no. We said we'll meet up the next day at the same time. I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then we met up the next day at the same time to play some basketball.
But I do remember while we were playing that very first night, I was like, dude, this kid looks familiar, but I couldn't put it together. Yeah. And I was like, wait a second. I'm like, do you have first period art history with Miss Min?
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah. I was like, okay, that's what it was. And I was like, wait a minute, aren't you also in fifth period AP Lang with Miss Ransom?
Yeah, Miss.
And he was like, yeah. So I was like, oh shoot. So I think that's really how it really, because we met that night. We were like, oh, like what's up, like but we didn't even really start talking that much.
Yeah, I would say after that, like the first 2 days where we played basketball, we never hung out again outside of school. Yeah. And even during lunch, we wouldn't hang out.
It was like, it took a couple months. Yeah. But that leads me into the next part of the show is, when do you really think the bromance took off?
I think it started during the spring, like around this time last year, but like a month later, where I asked Caleb to play basketball after school. And we did that. We just played just the two of us for a few days. And then we were like, let's get more people in on this. So we got Okena. Shout out Okena, the sexy black man himself.
Okena Anthony Wise.
Yes, sir. And we started playing with... Lil came out one time where he tried to instigate.
Yeah.
That's just so funny. Played with Damien.
But it's just like our whole AP Lang class. Yeah. And by the way, that class was iconic.
Funniest class ever, bro.
I say in May, when we graduate and it's all said and done, I'm going to look back and be like, that was probably definitely a top 3 class out of all 4 years. So, yeah.
The counselors were definitely on cocaine.
No, yeah. Well, when they were putting together those rosters, they made some bad decisions.
Yep. The fuck you gonna put me, Caleb, Nick Downs, Matt Pronio, Okena in the same class?
And Lil and Van.
Oh yeah, Lil and Van. When Lil jumped on Van for no reason.
Oh my god, that was crazy.
And then when I was listening, I was like, "Hey Siri, play Donda 2 during the state testing." and then Birdsong was like, "Do you have your phone on you?" He's like, "I'm gonna have to write a report and fail the whole class."
I forgot about that.
Such a dumbass.
But like, I'm glad you brought that up, because in the beginning of the school year, it was probably still like August, first week of school, and we were in AP Lang, and you were a Kanye West truther. Like, you were his number one fan.
Yeah.
And I remember Nick, shout out to our boy Nick Downs, he was on your head. Like, he was clowning you.
Yeah,
and he was like, Kanye West is horrible. You know, like, how could you like him? And I remember I was like, Nick, what are you talking about? Like, I love Kanye West. Like, I think when it's all said and done, he's gonna be one of the greatest rappers of all time. I
really is.
think that's also like we slowly started to find out what we had in common,
Yeah.
and we were like, oh, like you like Breaking Bad, greatest show of all time, by the way.
Facts, absolutely amazing. Shout out Bryan Cranston, that bald-headed bastard. He's so amazing.
And then you're like, oh, I like that show too, and I was like, oh, bet. And like, oh, you like basketball, so do I. Oh, you like fried chicken, so do I. Like just like little things like that. We slowly started to just like find things that we had in common, and I think it was around probably spring break, but like we slowly started hanging out more and more, and then we were like, oh, like maybe we're more alike than we think.
Yeah. And then I had the good idea of telling this guy. Oh yeah, he wanted a job, so I had the good idea of
Yeah, sir.
telling this guy to apply to Chick-fil-A. It's not a good idea, but
It's really not, but
don't apply to Chick-fil-A,
Yeah.
okay? Don't apply to Chick-fil-A.
we do not recommend it.
Hey, you should be recommending it still.
Hell no, bro.
What's it called,
I want to
though?
leave so bad.
But what's it called though? Yeah, it was a very fun time at Chick-fil-A. We didn't work that much together though. We never really had that much shifts. It was very rare.
Definitely at first we didn't. Well, first of all, I got hired, I think, the end of May.
Yeah, you got hired at the start of May, but then you didn't come till June.
No. I
You were
got
dead.
hired May 25th. I had my orientation,
Oh,
and then I got COVID at the end of the school year. So then that had me down for like 2 weeks.
That man
And then
was
after
dead.
that, I had a pre-planned vacation to Arizona, where I got lit. Anyways, that's a story for another time. But I was on that vacation. That was another 2 weeks. So then that was a whole month. I got hired May 25th. I didn't start. My first day at Chick-fil-A was July 7th.
damn! Holy shit! You were a whole.
That's like a whole like month and a half.
Yeah, month and a half.
But anyway, trying to get off topic. But yeah, Chick-fil-A definitely helped over the summer. I mean, over the summer we were like with each other like every day.
almost every day. Yeah.
So
What did we do? Oh yeah, we went to Planet Fitness like. 4
yes,
times a
sir.
week,
We
and then-
were getting in that work.
Yeah, and all that fucking work is gone.
Hey, my ass. You know, I'm still going to LA Fit. You know.
Oh yeah, with Will Riddle. Shout out to you, you beautiful man. That man is so fast.
For real. That guy's got some legs on him.
I cannot play basketball against him. He always blows by me badly.
But what was your? I'm curious. What was your first like assumption of me? Like, what was your like when you first met me?
Oh, this guy. Yeah.
First week of school, junior year. Like, what'd you think?
Well, I mean, I thought you were cool. I mean, I didn't really have friends at the start of the year, so I was like, I didn't know anyone. I didn't know anyone because sophomore year was all online. I was new to Santiago.
Yeah.
So I didn't have any negative things. I liked you. I thought you were fucking tall as hell. I thought you were really tall. And I thought you were good at basketball, but
Oh,
I
yes,
thought,
sir.
but I always thought I was better.
Well, you're wrong about that.
Yeah, but I have better ball handling
Whatever.
on and off the court.
Oh, for
So-
real. Facts.
So, yeah, that was match fishing. Oh yeah, and I was like, this guy eats ice cream too fast. Just wait until the summer. We would go to Target during the summer, and this guy would get a pint of Ben and Jerry's peanut butter,
Oh,
peanut butter brownie. What is the flavor?
peanut butter brownie. Yeah.
Something like that. And he would down the whole pint in one day, or not one day, in one sitting. It's like in like 30 minutes, the whole pint is
Yeah,
gone.
but that was when I was in club basketball, and I like the amount of exercising I was doing.
Yeah, I remember.
I was doing a lot of conditioning, and since I'm so tall, bro, oh my god, I was hungry 24/7.
Yeah.
But when I first met you, don't take this in a negative way, but I thought you were more of a reserved person, and I was clearly wrong about that one. You were anything but a reserved person, but I think, like you said, you didn't really know that many people,
Yeah.
so you like just kept things to yourself. You weren't really open. But I definitely got the vibe that you were someone who could care less what people thought about you, and I definitely respected you for that. Because I feel like I'm kind of like the same way. We're like,
Yeah.
honestly, hey, excuse my French, but fuck it, we ball.
Yep. Yes, sir. C'est la vie.
I could not care what people think. Like, you know, you only have one life, no regrets.
Facts.
So I definitely respected you for that. But as we got more closer, I was like, okay, yeah, like this guy is someone I could definitely like see myself with, like years to come. I feel like we definitely started meshing.
Yeah.
Pause.
Hey, wait, what?
But
Meshing? No, I'm just gonna go ahead and define that. What does meshing mean? I'm actually really curious.
it's the combination of substances.
Is it? Meshing definition. A material made of network of wire or thread and interlaced structure.
Interlace is a good Yeah, you know, like
Heard. Okay.
it's like a unbreakable bond.
Okay. Also, in new news, we no longer work together at Chick-fil-A, as my
Very
final day
sad.
was on Friday, and it was very sad. They deactivated my Slack account, which was like heartbreaking to me. 'Cause-
Rest in peace.
Yeah, facts. 'Cause I used to troll on that. But I'm trying to get this tall refrigerator to come to come to Cold Stone.
Tall refrigerator. What?
Come to Cold Stone. I need this guy to come to Cold Stone. It'd be so funny with Mafi the coffee and
Ain't no way. Just said
Guido
Mafi coffee.
Guido and everyone else at Cold Stone.
Hey, okay. Shout out to my boy Matthew Wakefield. If he starts working at Cold Stone,
That'd be so lit. Oh my god.
I'll make the switch. Oh my god.
Caleb,
that would
Matthew,
be
and I on the same shift as Devious.
that would be insane. Like,
Place is
oh my
burning down.
gosh.
There's no way they're scheduling.
There will be some things done in the break room.
Okay. What break room? There is no break room. It's Cold Stone.
I forgot. It's Cold Stone. Our boy Atef doesn't have time to make a break room.
Yeah, we are approaching the end of the first episode, I would say.
Man, we did it. Huh?
Yeah, first episode of the podcast has officially been recorded.
But like, here's something I want to talk about. I'm gonna probably sound corny for this, but I think there's always a reason for meeting people,
Yeah,
and I think there is a reason why we got so close.
absolutely.
And hey, maybe that reason was to start this podcast.
Absolutely.
Couple years down the line, you know, maybe we'll start taking it more seriously. Couple years down the line, we'll have a successful brand, and we'll be like, damn, senior year of high school,
Facts.
when we said YOLO,
and
look where we are
ball.
now. Look where we are now.
Yep, we're making the first episode of the High Life. We would like to feature very soon. We want to feature Ezekiel Rodriguez.
Oh my God, Zeke, hey, text me. You're there.
Zeke, yeah, please. We want to feature you so bad.
That would be
It'd
an
be so funny.
insane episode.
It'd be so funny. Just keep the controversial topics just down a notch. We don't want to hear you say Andrew Tate or Adolf Hitler.
All right.
Inspiration.
All right. But yeah, hey, you know, if you guys want to be a guest,
Just
hit us up.
yeah, Text
We'd
us.
be more than welcome to have people on.
yeah.
Because you know, at the end of the day, we just want to have fun. So, more people the merrier.
Facts. The more the merrier.
Yeah.
As the fellow singer in Ram Ranch would say.
Oh my God.
Okay. Okay, I think this is a great spot to end the first episode. So thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate it. And we'll see you in episode 2.
Catch you cool cats later. Peace.